vehicles, which we were going to do trailers, but the vehicles were such a good deal for us that if we don't use them, we just turn them back into the federal government.
Excuse me,
No,
Joe.
go ahead.
I'd mentioned to the board members previously that I've been working with 5 other chairs of selectmen from surrounding communities. And I had a discussion with Senator Tarr back around the 15th or 16th of the month. And he had mentioned a fellow named Joe McGowan. Do you know who he is?
No, I don't.
I believe he's a fire chief or an ex-fire chief that's been working on regional dispatch for a bunch of communities up in the Essex County area.
Yes, there is a group that's working on that right now.
Well,
That's something that Middlesex
but you don't know this gentleman? You've never spoken to him?
I don't know that gentleman, no.
Okay. I was gonna try to get you in touch with him.
No, it's being done by the Essex County Fire Chiefs, just as this technical rescue team is. There is a group that's working on it right now. They've hired a gentleman from Pennsylvania to actually build this program. They've got a grant, a very large grant, and they're trying to put it together right now. They aren't talking about exactly how it's gonna work yet, but they are building it. And hopefully it'll be off the ground in the next couple of years, 5 years.
This is the regional dispatch.
A regional dispatch.
Are we participating?
At this point, we are not, no.
Do you plan on participating?
We're trying to wait and see what's gonna happen. It's a large amount of money. I don't know if we have to buy into it, if it's gonna cost us money, how much it will cost us, how we'd end up going into it. At this point, we are not contemplating going into it. We're taking the information back, and I'll be giving it to the town administrator as soon as we get the information from the group. I've talked to Al Wolpen. Al Wolpen has talked to a couple of people on the.
This fellow, Joe McGowan, I believe, is the driving force behind that. At least that's what Senator Tarr told me.
Al McGowan, right.
Joe McGowan,
Joe McGowan.
Nope, if I could, Bob.
yes.
Yeah, Chief, if I could, is this a new function the fire department will be doing, or are you gentlemen doing it already, and these trucks are an enhancement to what you're doing? Or is this a brand-new program?
No, we built the technical rescue team about 9 years ago. What's happened is the funds are running out. The ability for us to train our members, we have 9 guys who are trained in technical rescue.
Yep.
Above ground, underground. We also do trench work. So people get trapped in trenches or on top of high lines and so forth. We have 9 guys that have been trained to that expertise level. But the problem is the cost is getting very prohibitive, and we're trying to find ways of getting our membership trained. And by doing a technical rescue team through a regional thing, we hopefully can keep our costs down, if not even no cost at all to the community.
So we're already doing this, and these trucks are just an enhancement to the program?
It's an enhancement, yes.
Basically, yeah, okay.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know if it was something brand new or not, that's what I was asking, but it's not,
We have a
okay.
trailer right now with approximately probably $40,000 worth of equipment.
Okay.
NEMLEC, right?
It's kind of a Nemlik item, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, are we holding all 3 vehicles?
Right now, I've
You
only got
mentioned
one.
3, are we holding 3 or 1?
No, right now we have 1.
Okay,
If I can get all 3, I'll take all 3, because all I have to do is sign a transfer paper and they move to a different section. The whole thing is when they come available, you have to grab them.
right,
And I'm trying to get other fire chiefs in the area to put their name on one of them, or 2 of them. My problem is that the gentlemen who are getting the vehicles for us are on vacation.
right.
They're down to a training session and on vacation. One guy's on vacation, the other's at a training session. So what I'm trying to do is get the vehicles moved down here so we don't lose them.
Right.
And if it means I have to just sign the paperwork till those people return, and then we move them off, that's
But,
what I'm trying to do.
but why would another chief be reluctant to do it?
It's not reluctant to do it, it's that I just want to get the trucks in here before they get lost.
Oh,
If they get lost in the system, I won't have an opportunity to
Oh,
get them.
okay.
Why-
Sean.
Mr. Chair, why isn't the regional team doing it? Why is North Reading have to do it? And is there any cost associated with registering, insuring the vehicles while they're here under North Reading's name?
What we've done is we're building a technical rescue team, and the technical rescue team has a steering committee. Myself, another firefighter from North Reading, and 5 other firefighters have developed the program. We're still in the infancy stage. What we're doing is we've designed it. We're working with the union in the state to try to come up with a working relationship so that we can go forward with this. We've taken on not applications yet, but it's so infant right now that we don't have the people and, I don't know how to say this, it's not gone far enough yet that I can go up and say, hey, will you take the vehicle, will you not take the vehicle? All I'm doing is signing for the vehicle, parking them down at DPW garage, and then they be transferred from there on. It depends upon where they're gonna go. We haven't decided where they're gonna go yet. The town of Peabody said that they will take one. They're set up for different parts of the district. I just have to find those people that take it, but if the vehicle comes available to me, I want to just go and grab it. And then I just signed a piece of paper transferring the ownership from myself or the town to the next town over. We will not keep all three, no.
What, if any, cost is there associated with this community?
There isn't any cost.
There's not, zero.
Hasn't been any cost. As far as I know, there isn't any cost to the town. They're DOD vehicles, they're surplus vehicles. We got one about a year ago. We haven't used it yet. After 1 year, it becomes ours. We can sell it, trade it, do whatever we want with it. They don't want it back. The vehicle I got the other day is a vehicle that they want back. If we're not gonna use it, we'll turn it back to them.
Do you already have one?
I have one right now, yes. If we decide that the technical rescue team doesn't work and we can't get it off the ground, then the vehicle will be signed back to the state and they'll come by and pick them up and take them. But at this point, there's been no cost to the town.
So the technical rescue team is the local team in North Reading. You talked about it was formed 9 years ago. Now you're trying to expand that
Trying
to
to
be a
ex-
regional team.
Trying to expand it to a regional team because the town of North Reading can't afford to pay for its own team, basically. We can train people to a certain level, but then after that, we have to hire people, and it's very expensive to go and hire a group to come in and teach the personnel. I already have a commitment for 45 people on the technical rescue team that we're developing through the Mass Fire Academy with a hire process that we've already hired them to do 3 classes, which will take and move our people into teaching 3 classes of 45 people and training them to the proficiency level of technical rescue team. That should be done by July 1, if everything goes as we project it to go.
And that's all being paid out of the Homeland
I'll be
Security.
paid out of the Homeland grant.
If you can't get the regional team up and running, this vehicle, will you then use it, the
Nope.
local team that you have?
Probably not. We have a trailer right now. They probably won't use it, probably turn it back to the state.
If you decide to use it, I don't even know if you know this answer, but would there be a cost associated with using the vehicle for North Reading technical rescue team?
Maybe fuel. Right now, we're working on a deal to get the thing painted by the schools. Trying to get them to paint them, trying to get them to do all the different things. The vehicles, as I say, has less than 10,000 miles on them. The seats aren't even dirty. The vehicles are in great shape. We drove one. Everything is in great shape. There's no repairs that have to be done to it. And the repairs will be done by the technical rescue team. I don't see the
I'm
town.
asking you questions because you know what happened in terms of motorcycles at the police department, so I just
Right now, I have
don't
no
want to have the
plan-
same situation.
Right now, I have no
arise.
plans on keeping the vehicle if it doesn't go to the technical rescue team.
So the vehicle's sitting at the Public Works garage?
Yes, it is.
It's not registered, it's just sitting?
Not registered,
Okay.
it's just sitting there.
As far as other communities getting involved, right now, there aren't any other communities involved, or are there?
There's 34 fire chiefs of the Essex County that have taken on the mission and the task of building and developing this team. I am
Has any other
basically
communities
spearheading
have any other communities gone as far as we've gone?
Yes.
Do they have,
Like
9
yours?
people trained
Yes, they do.
at a certain proficiency level, and
Yes, they do. Peabody, Lynn, Salem, Newburyport, Haverhill, they're all proficient in certain areas and levels of expertise. They have teams just like we do, Wakefield, the town of Reading. We all have a lot of equipment that's available to us, but the problem is there's no training money to train anybody. The town of Wakefield has $40,000 trailer sitting there, same as the town of Reading. Haven't used them in 6 years because there's no money to train anybody. That's why the idea of becoming a regional technical team has been such a big instrumental push. And myself and these other 5 members are basically running this thing here and getting it spearheaded so that it'll be up and running, going forward, and not costing the communities any money. And if we do have somebody trapped in a trench, we do have somebody trapped in a high line or something like that, we have the ability and the technical expertise to go and get them and not get anybody hurt. And that's what we're trying to do. At this moment, we have 34 people that say they want to get involved, 34 towns that want to get involved in it. We're getting the $200,000 to start. And we just have to put the plan together. We've pretty much got the plan. We just need the buy-in of all the personnel and the people, which I'm going to a meeting on Wednesday to bring forward all the plans of actions that we have and ready to bring forward to the Board of Directors of the Essex County Fire Chiefs. And at that point, they'll make a decision whether they move forward or they disband the whole project, basically. The
Michael,
project's been going for 9 months. We've been building this thing for 9 months.
Michael has a question.
Question on the vehicle. Sounds like a really big deal with the vehicle. If it doesn't work out, the tree doesn't become fruition, it's possible for these vehicles to be turned over to DPW. Defense request a chapel. Like, new parts and stuff like that. These vehicles turned over to DPW. So, fulfill some of those requests.
That would be up to the town administrator, and also we'd have to forward that to the person who owns the DOD, through the federal government. 750s, the big diesel 4-door cabs, the very large trucks. So like the dump trucks that they buy at the DPW.
Maybe another option for you if this doesn't come around, that could save us significant money going up on
Yes, Mr. Van.
One more, Chief, only because I'm curious. And this may be a question that you can't answer yet, because maybe the program is not put together. But I guess my question would be, if we have one of these vehicles in North Reading, and there was a call-out, does that mean we would automatically be sending 2 or 4 men with that vehicle? How would that work? I mean, would there be like a call-out if you had someone trapped in a trench in, say, Ipswich, and we were the closest truck? I'm trying to figure out.
What happens is there's gonna be 3 vehicles, or 3, it's gonna actually be a wood wagon, is what it's gonna be attached to a trailer that's gonna pull all the equipment. We do have all the different stuff, we're gonna move it together.
Yep.
And/or put the equipment on top of this truck. What'll happen is, there'll be a call out, the Beverly Fire Department, which is our control center, has pretty much, hasn't finished yet, but is willing to send out a page to a team of personnel, possibly 11 people in each district, just for a given number. And what'll happen is, they'll say, North Reading, can you send your members with your vehicle? We'll say, yep, we'll send them. That money will be reimbursed through that $200,000 for any personnel and expenses that we incur in sending those people out of town. As mutual aid is right now, we actually do it through a mutual aid system.
Oh, okay,
If I have
that's what
5
I was
guys or
wondering.
4 guys that I send, I'll send them, I'll backfill with overtime, and that money will come back. I will file out a reimbursement slip with the Essex County Fire Chiefs, and that money will be reimbursed back to the community. We're trying to build this so that it doesn't cost the town any
Yeah.
money.
No, that's, well, and to be maybe too frank, that's as long as we have Homeland Security money.
Yes.
If that's gone, it's, you know.
If July 1, there's no more funding, it'll be over.
Oh, okay,
Shut
I see
everything
what
down.
you're saying. So in other words, if that funding dries up for that, the program is gone.
It's gone.
Okay.
At this point, yes.
Any other questions for the chief? Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You looking for a consensus?
Tomorrow.
More or less?
I mean, obviously, we cannot direct the chief to send it back